Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, or wherever you are in the wide and wonderful world of Tottenham Hotspur. This is Thfc Till I Die, the home of Tottenham past, present, and now it looks like we may have a future after 72 days of wondering if we had one. With me for the moment is Mia. Dermot will be along shortly. So how are you, Mia? How are you? A lovely warm day again, where I am anyway.
Yeah, it's warm here actually. It's been a little breezy a few days down by the beach, but it's been okay today. It's actually been okay. Good weather to dry your washing.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah, true. I think it's got so bad over here. They're even wanting a bit of rain now. It's been so dry, which is for Ireland, that's quite a bit of a paradox. Normally we get so much rain we don't know what to do with it. But we haven't had any for a while. But anyway, there we are. So anyway, this is day one or day two, whatever way you want to call it, of the Postecoglou reign. Even though he officially doesn't take over until the 1st of July, I think you can be sure that he's working on things already. He's not going to wait a month before getting stuck into things. And there's some very interesting decisions to be made, I think, especially regarding who stays at the club and who goes. I was just watching a documentary this morning that someone did on him from his career in Australia. And this guy is ruthless. He's gone into teams in Australia, especially in his earlier career, and he's just gutted them. He's just literally gone in and gutted the team and brought in replacements, and it usually worked out for him. So, Mia, is that what you're expecting this time around, or will it be a slower process?
Do you know what? I thought it might be a slower process, but I've got a feeling, I've heard he's been ruthless on more than one occasion with players. So I've got a feeling that he is going to do his research and say they don't fit, they don't fit. I've got a feeling he actually might do that, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think I can see him there lying on the beach somewhere with the dossier of all the Spurs players, and he'll have a stay and go on either side of his sunbed. You know, he'll be stay, go. So it'll be interesting to see now what's the story. So yeah, before Dermot comes in there, Mia, we'll have a look and see who's in the chat there. Can you bring him up there, or
I can do, yeah, hold up.
You don't mind?
We've got, there you go. We've got Jazz Fusion saying Deadwood and one out and away.
Want a way out, yeah.
Oh, away out, sorry.
Yeah.
Finances in.
Yeah.
We've got Carl Simpson. Go on, you can. Sorry, I'll bring them up and you can read them.
Yeah. Good afternoon, guys, and everyone in the chat. I'm waiting for the attempt to trick Dermot again, Carl. So make sure you do it later on, will you, when he gets here? And it's always good to laugh at that. And Hot God 10 is saying, good afternoon, Carl.
Yeah, let's go down to this one.
Adrian Stroker, good afternoon, all. Yes, indeed, Adrian. And Jim Boxall, Spurs till I die. Hi, all. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, I suppose. Well, put it this, we're happier this Wednesday than we were last Wednesday, I think, you know. And Kate Boxall is saying, afternoon, you lovely bunch of people. Absolutely. Afternoon to you as well, Kate. And Tequila 316 saying, Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Are we going to go back to the famous five with Aussie, I wonder, in this regime under Postecoglou? Or as
I want to hear your best Aussie accent now, Phil.
No, I wouldn't even try it. But I had to laugh yesterday. Poor Aussie Ardiles, when he was welcoming Postecoglou to the club, he spelt it wrong. He put it down as Postecoglou. And he had to apologise for it later on, you know. So poor old Aussie. Anyway, good day, mates. That's probably my best Aussie accent on that one.
Good day, mates.
Good day, mates. And forever, Kate saying, forever the optimist, me. Well, I mean, it's the hope that kills you with supporting Tottenham, really, you know. I mean, what
story of our lives.
Yeah, isn't it? 15 years without a trophy. So anyway, let's hope it doesn't go to 16. Anyway, Van Football Vents is saying, hi guys, that's a funny name, Van Football Vents. Some of the handles on this are absolutely amazing. I'd love to know the origins of some of them. You know, whether they're so original. And Wayne Bonner, hi away. Good day, Cobbers. Hope you're all well. Yeah, absolutely.
Kate Box was asking as well, Philip, if you're okay.
Oh, yeah, fine, Kate. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I had an attack of hay fever there for a couple of days, but it's gone now, thank God, because it wasn't very pleasant. I wouldn't mind. I haven't had it for 20 years. It's just hit me with the weather being so warm and the pollen count so high. But thanks, Kate. Appreciate the thought. And Tequila 316 saying, I got me a can of Foster's. Yeah, they'll have to start selling Foster's in the club bar now. Really?
Well, apparently Australians don't drink Foster's. I think that's a bit of a fallacy, apparently.
Yeah, I don't drink now. From what I've heard, it wouldn't be the best beer in the world, you know. So,
no.
Yeah. But anyway, any Foster's fans in the house will probably disagree with me there. But I do believe I heard a joke about it once. If I could remember, I'd say it, but it wasn't very complimentary. Anyway, Column FSTN Column, how are you, Column? Good day, mates. Yeah, here we go, the Aussie theme again. And Lisa saying, good afternoon, Philip and Mia. Hello, lovely chat, people. How are you, Lisa, over in Mexico? I'm sure it's really warm over there as well as here. And Terry Plows is saying, tie your kangaroo down. Yeah, that's it. Well, funny, I was going to mention it yesterday, but I thought that's got Rolf Harris connection, so I thought I'd better keep it.
Yeah, we've got to be careful with that one.
Yeah, careful with that one. And Wembley once an afternoon, Philip and Mia. I love a good gut. Oh yeah, bring it on, and yeah, absolutely. Actually, his first name is Angelo Postecoglou.
Angelos.
Angelos. Is it Angelos? Sorry, yeah, Angelos. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. And yeah, I mean, he's. It showed him actually some of the pictures it showed of him with the Australian team back in the early days in 2007. He was with the Australian. He looked so young looking compared to what he does now. You know.
I know.
The football management can really age you. You know.
Definitely.
So let's see. We got 16 for Spurs. Big up, people, and big up to Muse 16 for Spurs. And Audio Artisan, another brilliant name. Afternoon peeps, afternoon to you. And Hot God 10, hi Philip and Mia and everyone in the chat. Ange Blue and White Army, come on you Spurs. I'm just wondering how long it'll take for a song to be composed and sang at the ground for them. I doubt they'll do it the first couple of games, but it depends how we get on, I suppose. And Lee Richards is saying, Laporte will be a good signing. The way things are looking, the team might be unrecognisable in the year's time, which is a good thing. We need a rebuild. Looks like Ange's determined to change the thing. Yeah, well, as we were saying there, he can be ruthless. And I would say there's quite a few Spurs fans, Spurs players on holidays at the minute wondering what club they're going to be at next season. And, I think all of us would be glad to hear that, because the old guard has been allowed to stay far too long. And Laporte would be an excellent signing for Manchester City. He really would. Whether we can actually get him or not is another thing. But we'll see. We'll keep that one under wraps in case anybody else nips in and gets him. And Toxic Headshot saying fair income. I think that's fair dinkum, isn't it? Am I right, Mia? Isn't it fair dinkum? They say.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, fair dinkum, yeah. Fair income is fine. I
mean, I think it is.
Good object, fair income. And
right, hold on. So I'm just going down. Just trying to everybody. If you're chatting between yourselves, I'm not bringing it up. It's just so it's a little bit quicker.
Yeah, because the chat is very busy again today. Andrew Gregory saying afternoon, Philip and Mia. Afternoon, Andrew. And beyond 72, when Arsenal win the League Cup, but Ange wins the Champions League, that's not the trophy. That's a trophy. Yeah. Oh, wouldn't I love to be there that day? Arsenal having a meltdown of winning the Carabao Cup, and we win the Champions League. Oh, sure, you can but dream. You can but dream. That would be nice. And Jazz Fusion saying, living with a man down under, where hammers and torn asunder. Can't you hear it? Can't you hear it? Thunder. Guna's going to run. They better take cover. Yeah, that's a good song, actually. Yeah. That's the Men at Work song, isn't it? Down under.
Yeah, Men at Work.
Yeah. The Hot God 10 said, we need a massive overhaul to get Ange to play his style of football. Looking forward to removing the unwanted. Yeah, a guy, also that video I watched, I think it was from 442. He did a board showing the tactics, and he plays with the inverted fullbacks. The fullbacks actually come in as extra midfielders and plays a very, very high line. So there's going to have to be a good bit of pace in that defense to get back, Somebody, said if Spurs played that formation at the minute, they'd concede about 16 goals every game, but Celtic were good at it. So that's the way he put it, So we'll have to see what happens there. But certainly it's not going to be any boring 3-5-2 anyway, that's for sure. Ange is going to kick a few players, including Kane. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a while. The signs are that might well be the case. And Terry Plough saying, woke up this morning feeling fine. I've got Ange Postecoglou on my mind. Yeah, that's the old woke up this morning. Yeah, what was that, Jerry and the Pacemakers? No, I can't remember who sang that one. Or Herman's Hermits or something. That's who it was, yeah. Adrian Stroker, to dare is to didgeridoo. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the next one is Audio Artisan again. Do you think Ange is a didgeridoo or more of a wobble board type of guy? Mia, I'll let you answer that one.
I think he's more of a didgeridoo kind of guy, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. What is a didgeridoo? It's a musical instrument. It's kind of thing you blow into.
Yeah, it's that really long instrument that you blow into.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, very good, very good.
Okay.
This is going to do this is going to get us a huge amount of fans out down in Australia who probably never even really heard of Tottenham, but they might be taking a big more interest in us now that we've got an Aussie as a manager, So, and actually the fact that the close season tour starts in Perth is a huge thing. Well, not starts in Perth, but it's in Perth anyway. Melchizedek, that's a great name. 144. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A boomer?
A stick.
Yeah.
There we go. I love Joe. What? I'm not going to lie. I love a dad joke. I'm a bit of a mum jokes kind of person. My children don't appreciate it, but I think I'm quite funny. But they say that I'm not, so I don't know. So I love a dad joke.
Yeah. There's some good ones going around. All right, Mostly being a dad myself, I get the butt of the jokes in this house anyway all the time. Jazz Fusion, big up La Viola. My little girl sends her love to her favourite club. Very good. That's lovely. Viola, that's a lovely name. Viola.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Right, I think we'll just that last one and we'll leave it because obviously the chat just keeps rolling in. We'll come back to it in a bit.
Didgeridoo or didgeridoo? That is the question. Yeah, it could well be didgeridoo. Hopefully it's didgeridoo. Now, we're going to go into the first banner, and this is probably the most controversial thing that Spurs are going to have to deal with in the close season. Would you sell Kane this summer or risk him going on a free? Mia, over to you on that.
I think I've made my feelings actually quite clear on this, because I don't think it's that much of a controversial take that if he doesn't want to sign, I would rather sell him and get the money, because I feel like the money is important. Because what Postecoglou can do with that amount of money, he's going to be able to do a lot, because he likes players that aren't expensive, and he'll be able to get a really good amount of players for the money for Kane. So if he doesn't want to stay, then I think we should sell him, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Real Madrid are interested, as they say they are, and they come in with a bid of 80 million or so, it's going to be very hard to turn down. Although word on the wire is that Levy does not want to sell Kane, does not want him to go, which I find quite strange, because Daniel's obviously looking down 12 months down the road when Kane can walk away free if he likes to, and he can go anywhere. Whereas we have a control over who we sell him to now. He's under contract. Like, I don't want Kane to go to Manchester United or any other Premiership team. If he goes, I want him to go to Real Madrid, where he won't do us any harm. You know?
Do you know what? I think Levy's stuck in a bit of a quandary, because I think he thinks to himself, if I sell him, the fans are going to hate me for selling him. So I feel like he's got that on his mind. He's our best player, and everyone's going to be like up in arms. Why are you selling our best player? And I feel like that's part of it, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I think what's going to happen here, what's going to have to happen here, is if Kane is going to be sold, he's going to have to come out and say, listen, lads, I've had 10 great years at Tottenham, but all good things come to an end. I need to move on as a challenge to myself, and I love the club, but I want to go. So that means Levy might not get the blame for it, because he's going to get the blame if it's not clear under the circumstances how Harry's going. It's going to be all blamed on Levy. But I'm always a huge Harry Kane stay person, but at the minute I'm beginning to wonder. I think he will be going in the summer, and then you've got to ask the question: who's going to replace him? How do you replace the irreplaceable? Which is really what we're looking at here, and that could be a problem.
But you know what? We're going to have to do it at some point. And I feel like that everybody is sort of really like afraid. What we weren't afraid when we lost all the other players that have been big players that have come to our club. For some reason, we're really clinging on to Harry Kane like our club's going to dissolve because we haven't got Harry Kane. That is not the case. We need to be brave. All the best teams sell their players at the highest point when they're worth a lot of money so they can recoup the money. I just don't know why we're so afraid of doing that.
I think we're afraid of the future. That's what it is. We're afraid of, we've had so many good years with Harry scoring 30 goals regularly in the season, 25, 30 goals. And we're going to wonder who's going to come behind. Now, I think if Richarlison had a good season this season, then I think that those fears would be reduced a little bit. But Richarlison really, when you look at it, couldn't hit a barn door this season, really. Unless he comes up steaming next season, we're going to have to bring in, that Kyogo fella from Celtic would be an ideal replacement. And apparently he's got a release clause of 25 million. So, that could be an option to bring him in. But anyway, here's Dermot coming in now.
Okay, I'll jump off.
Thanks, Mia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mia.
No worries. I'll send my invoice to you ASAP. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So
now take Mia out there. How are you, Philip?
I'm good. Yeah, we've actually just been going down through the chat is mad today. It's really busy. I mean, we've just asked the question there: would you sell Kane? So we're gonna have a look and see what the chat says about it.
Yeah.
I think the consensus seems to be coming around that maybe it is time to sell him.
Yeah. Look, he's got a year left in his contract, Philip, and I think if Spurs are playing it smartly, they should sell him. But still, is it a chance for letting them go and for free? But do you want to take the chat there?
Well, I'll tell you the thing about it. Just reiterate with that. My feelings on Kane. I want him to stay, but the last couple of days I've been thinking about it. He's going to go at some stage, and why not get 80 million for him now rather than let him go to Manchester United for a free next season, and no doubt come back and haunt us, which he probably will. But he can't do that at Real Madrid, so they maybe let him go. Yeah. Let's see what's coming up in the chat there.
Yeah, okay, I'll bring him up here, Philip. Here we've got Colin saying, yes, sell Kane, but not to United, please. Sell him to Madrid.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Jazz says Levy's will maximize
his return.
Yeah, he will do. We've got Wembley one with Ange newly on board. It might be the right time to start with a completely new slate. Sell Kane. I saw reports this morning that Saudis are interested in Son.
Yeah, I think that's for next season. That's for the end.
Yeah,
His
that is
contract's
for
up
next
next
season.
year. I think there'd be a riot now if you sold Kane and Son in the one
Yeah.
transfer window.
We've got Tequila 316 saying no, keep Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Big up Jim saying hi to me. Charles Fuchsia said Son and Richarlison centre forward in this system.
Yeah, could be. Could be.
We've got Mackenzie 1 for 4.
Melchizedek, yeah.
Yeah, we can walk without Kane. Without a Kane.
Without a Kane, yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, look, Philip, these are the daily Spurs updates. These are what was given to me this morning of the latest rumours that are going around the club at the moment. Now, I want to start the top one there, Philip. The rumour budget for Spurs next season is 150 million before any sales. That could increase the budget, so no waiting around for a sporting director before deals can be made for any players that Ange wants. Now, that includes the money we need to buy Kulu.
Yeah.
Now,
it might not also include the 80 million we get for Harry Kane, so we could be talking more like 250 million.
Yeah, so around 250 million for new players. Do you think that's enough for Ange to get going?
The way he buys players, I was just saying there, Kyogo from Celtic, I think has a buyout clause of 25 million. I mean, there's a centre forward, a goal scoring centre forward in for buttons, really, 25. You know, so I reckon we could get 5 or 6 decent players and have change out of that money if we wanted to buy. If we wanted to change that, whether we can change that many is another thing. You know, I just don't know. But it's a decent enough budget, to be honest. I wasn't expecting as much as that.
No, I mean, there were rumours it was only going to be 60, 70 million.
Yeah.
So to get this amount of money now, it's good. It looks like Harry Maguire will be subject to a bid from Tottenham as the Manchester United looks for a move from the Red Devils to kickstart his career again.
Yeah.
Would you have him at Tottenham?
Well, I'm a Harry Maguire fan. I'm actually one of the few. I just think that he can do a job. If we got the Leicester version of Harry Maguire, now the only thing that concerns me, and I think this may preclude him ever coming to Tottenham, is Ange likes to have his centre backs mobile and quick.
Yeah.
Harry Maguire's got the turning circle of the Titanic. So I honestly think on that reason alone, we won't buy him. You know, although it wouldn't surprise me if we were in for him, but I don't think Ange would allow. He could buy a much more mobile centre half or centre back. Yeah. And I think that'll rule Maguire out.
Yeah, we've got a Wayne Bonner's been a member now, Bill Nick member now for 5 months, Philip. So big up, Wayne. Thank you for all the support over the last 5 months. And he says, players plus cash for Kane, get some new blood through the door with an extra cash for Ange to spend. I sort of agree with that.
Yeah.
I really
do. I mean, it's with regret that we say that, but like all good things come to an end. I mean, look at it this way. Harry Kane could stay with us, right? Break his leg in the first game of next season. And what do we do then?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, that's it.
Do you know, we with Harry Kane, look, he's our top goal scorer. And you got these arguments going around, Philip, that without Kane, Tottenham are going to be relegated. Without Kane, this would happen. Without Kane. Yeah. Look, you know yourself. You were around when Jimmy Greaves left Tottenham for West Ham and we got Martin Peters in return. Did the club, all right, it took the club, 2 years to become successful again under a new team without Jimmy Greaves?
Well, I mean, that wasn't a change of manager. That was just a change of one player. So, I mean, all good. Like, the king is dead, long live the king. That's the way I look at it. There will be someone who'll come in and replace him. Like, when we lost Berbatov, we thought it was the end of the world. You know, when we lost Robbie Keane, we've lost players over the years, and we've lost Gareth Bale. I mean, at the time Gareth Bale left, he was Footballer of the Year. You know, he was absolutely pulling up trees for Tottenham, and he left. And okay, I know we wasted a lot of the money that we got for him, but we did get a couple of gems with Luka Modric and Ericsson that came in on that money as well. But no, maybe not that money. But no, I mean, it's all good things come to an end. The clock doesn't stop. Harry Kane's 30 next birthday.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I reluctantly say if he goes now, well, I'll be disappointed. I'll not be surprised.
The third bit of news here, Philip, is Sky Sports believe that the signing of Harry Maguire may help swing the tide in the Kane contract saga. Look, I know how much
make him stay, make him want to stay, or make him want to go.
Yeah. I know how much you love Sky Sports and Simon Jordan and Talk Sports. So this is right up your alley. I mean, is this Sky Sports just
Oh, listen.
Rumor
You know what this
mongering.
is? This is Sky Sports trying to get people to go and put money on Sky Bet. Will Harry Kane go, or will he stay? I believe very little that come out of Sky Sports. I mean, I'm looking the other day there, Dermot. We had the news about Postecoglou 3 or 4 hours before they did, and they're supposed to be a sports organisation, you know.
And we're a small little tatty YouTube channel.
Yeah,
we broke it before them.
I know, exactly. And even when they broke it, they only broke that we had permission to talk to them. We had them signed up at that stage, you know.
We did have them signed up, so
yeah.
I don't know what to do. Anyway, and reports are saying that this is the other bit of news here, Philip. That reports are saying this morning that Tottenham have informed Harry Kane that he will not allow him to leave this summer to any club.
Yeah, well, there you go. This could be Daniel Levy playing hardball. See, this is I don't know.
Would this show Harry Kane's true colours? What he does next now? If this is true, and he's not allowed to leave, would this show? Will he now show his true colours? If he really does love Tottenham and he really wants to stay here, or will he say no? I want to go to Madrid. There's my transfer request. I want out of here.
It's very hard to turn down Real Madrid, I know that. But if Harry Kane was to say to Spurs, right, give me a new contract. I love what Postecoglou is doing at the club. That would be an absolutely massive statement of intent and would give the whole place a lift. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I think all the posturing about not selling him is going to be there. It's fine. That's all grand until the offer hits the table. Then that's going to test his resolve. And I think the Daniel Levy that turned down 80 million for a player who can walk for nothing next season is going to be a little bit hard to do.
Yeah. Daily, and this one now is actually Manchester United sort of news, but it could be for us as well, Philip, that the Saudi Arabian under the Qatari Sheikh Jazam will look at another Premier League side if his final bid for the Glazers fails to secure Manchester United. The clubs that are speculated are West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur. Well, can I just say very quickly, why would you look at Barney the Dinosaur Lovers? All the love doing is grown men playing with their bubbles, right? That's all they want to do is play with the bubbles and the Barney the Dinosaurs. Now, Derby would tell me our eldest lad loved Barney the Dinosaur when he was small, but he didn't like playing with bubbles. West Ham fans do. And if you go to their stadium, you need to bring binoculars, as Dave told us as well, to watch a game. So why would you want to go there instead of coming to us?
Well, there's two reasons. One, they'd be cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And secondly, you haven't got to deal with Daniel Levy. But on the long-term speculation there, on the long-term situation, they'd be foolish to go for West Ham. West Ham rents their stadium from the City of London, as far as I know, right? They pay 3 million quid a year in rent, right, which is buttons, right? Their terracing or the seating capacity is pretty good, all right. The problem is the people at the back of the stand are in a different time zone from the people at front. It's that far ball. When the ball hits the net at West Ham, it's 10 minutes before they actually realise that they've scored. You know, so I think prestige-wise, Tottenham will be such a huge team to buy. Plus, you've got the ancillary income coming in there, the possibility of all the NFL money in there, which West Ham don't have. It just depends how progressive or how ambitious these Qatari guys are. But I mean, look, in sport, anything can happen. Look what happened yesterday with the golf situation. Can anyone see that coming? With the Live and the PGA thing.
What actually happened there? They were again, and then suddenly they've merged, have they?
They've merged, more or less. They're more or less. But that's just, again, another example of Saudi Arabia putting billions into this to sweeten the deal. And it's absolutely hypocrisy of the highest level what's going on there between the PGA as to what they said last year. And the families of the 9/11 people who the PGA chairman used 9/11 as a beating point for Live, how bad they were. Now he's gone and got into bed with them, and it's disgraceful. I'm just waiting to see what Rory McIlroy has to say about it.
Yeah, I don't think he's happy. Just a bit of breaking news, Philip. Sky News are reporting that footballing star Jude Bellingham is to join Real Madrid in an 88.5 million transfer fee.
I meant to say, I'm just hearing that myself. Yeah. Now, does that rule Real Madrid, from we could understand, didn't have a pot to piss in money-wise? Now suddenly they're lashing out 88 million on Bellingham, and he's 21 years of age, or now 20 years of age. Is that going to be their big purchase? Does that mean have they got the money to buy him and Harry Kane?
Yeah.
This is very interesting now. This could throw the whole thing into a different light.
Now, Mia's got a super chat here, and it has been put in the chat as well. I'll bring up Mia's super chat. Thank you so much, Mia. It's really, really great. And listen, thank you so much, Mia, for standing in for me. I do apologize. I was late, everyone. But Mia, you are an absolute diamond. So thank you so much.
Just do 100 lines. I must not be late for class, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. I'll be like Bart Simpson writing on top of the thing.
Yeah. 14 pens writing the same thing.
14 pens. I might just sub that out to somebody to do it for me.
I do it. Yeah.
Anyway, Mia says Kane will be in the new launch kit. Thought, yeah, and that was the news I saw today, Mia. Kane has been heavily involved in the new kit launch tomorrow. Now, that would seem to me that Kane's staying.
Yeah, it gives the impression.
Why would you use a player that's going to be sold for launching your new kit?
And I'll tell you one thing. Another reason that it's quite. If you're a young kid having a birthday, right, and you say to your mum and dad, "I want a Spurs shirt. I want number 10 and Harry Kane on the back of it," and Harry Kane's not at the club next season. You know, it's destroying a lot of little dreams like that. So it's very positive that Harry Kane is, if he is involved with the shirt launch, and because I don't think even Spurs would be foolish enough to get shirt sales under basically what would be false pretenses if he's not going to be at the club next season.
Apparently, Tequila saying Spanish government can buy who they want. Column saying Rail have come into money. Make of that as you wish. We all know it's correct. Jazz is including with Tequila. We've got Mark Davis. Big up, Mark. Haven't seen you before. Which Thunderbird are you? Thunderbird 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know. It says FFP. It's an absolute joke. How much are Barcelona and Real Madrid in debt in the second-rate league? And he makes a very.
He's right. He's absolutely right. So Barcelona weren't even allowed to sign players last summer until they got rid of a few. You know, and now they're talking about bringing Lionel Messi back.
Yeah,
I know something's happening in the Spanish league, but financial fair play is an absolute joke. Yeah. Manchester City are laughing up their sleeves. Yeah. They have 115 cases to answer, and I guarantee they'll not be found guilty on one of them.
No, I know you guarantee that. Rob Wallace, big up Rob Wallace, says Madrid is run by the Bank of Spain. They can afford whoever they want.
Well, what does that mean that they're in hock to the Bank of Spain? The bank, they owe that bank that much, and the bank have taken them over.
Yeah. Wayne Bonner says Dermot may have been late, but he's still quicker than Tottenham manager search.
Now, when we have our manager now, Wayne, come on now. We haven't.
And then we've got I'm not sure TalkSport understands anything. Well, Philip would actually agree with you on that.
No. Don't start me on TalkSport.
Yeah. West Ham wouldn't make sense, as yes, I know they're in the final today, but as you say, business sense, it's the cockerel.
I'll tell you, I'll leave that one to you, Dermot.
Nearly. He nearly got me. Nearly. And I saw that one late as well, so nearly.
Oh, God. He left until the end of it nearly.
It does catch me out sometimes, I must admit. It does catch me out. Yeah. He probably will catch me out before the end of the show, you know, mate. Yeah. Column says Messi's going to Inter Miami.
Yeah, but they're going to loan him to Barcelona then, apparently. That's the talk. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Oh, dear. Messi's going to Inter Miami, apparently. Fun for me, Column, and Leo.
I say one thing for Messi. I am happy for him. He's turned down Saudi Arabia, even though they're offering him absolute mega bucks.
It's okay, Dermot. I'll only try once a show. Well, you can try again and see, can you catch me out? You can try again, Carl. But you got to make it a bit different this time. Rob Willis says they sell their training ground to the bank at profit and buy it back cheaper to fund their transfers.
And you see also Barcelona have moved out of the new camp to revamp the stadium. Where are they getting their money for that? As we know, stadium revamps do not come cheap.
By the government, Spanish government.
Yeah,
that's how the Spanish
but
government.
Surely that's crazy. What about the other clubs in Spain? Are they funding every club in Spain? Seems a bit odd.
The Australian Football League congratulated Postecoglou on creating history yesterday, Philip, as he's the first Australian ever to manage in the Premier League. And look, we've had many Australian players, goalkeeper for Middlesbrough, forget what his name was.
Mark Schwarzer.
That's it. That's the man. But do you know, how do you think Look, I was watching a video of him yesterday, Philip, him talking to the Australian team before a game for the qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And he got me pumped up.
I know.
That was after about 5 minutes of watching him.
And I'll tell you one thing: I wouldn't like to go against what he says.
No.
You know, this guy has got a ruthless streak to him, and I think it's brilliant. He'll make players sit up and listen. Absolutely.
Also, that Tottenham are to offer Ryan Mason a position on Postecoglou's backroom team. Do you know what? I think that's a good one for me.
It is. I think he's also having a meeting with Daniel Levy to discuss his future, to see what the long-term thing is. So, but I think it would make sense for him to stay and get a bit more experience. At Spurs.
Just another bit of news here, Philip. That's where club. This is it here. Club chiefs are close to saying goodbye to club after Tottenham identify him as Paratici replacement. They're looking at Thiago Pinto of AS Roma. That is the target for Spurs to be the new director of football. So that could be announced in the next couple of days. And also, last bit of news, Philip, is Brian Hill sent an emotional message to Seville ahead of Tottenham return under Ange Postecoglou. Look, go on.
Just to go back to the Pinto thing there, he's obviously not listening to anything that Jose Mourinho said about Spurs. So if he did, he'd be running a mile from us. He wouldn't come near us.
No, Philip. New team now. New team, new broom. New broom. The Wayne said, if Ange brings Harry Kane with him, he will have help adjust to the Premier League quicker. And he said that's so true. We've got Lee Richards, another interesting Spurs Australian fact. We toured Australia in 1976 and played the Australian national team. We won 3-2. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, very good. Yeah, 76. That would have been that wasn't a good year. That's the year we went on to get relegated that season. So
Lee, if you can, send us the link to that game. That's a game I'd love to show on the channel. So send us the link to that. That'd be a good one. We've got Mark Davis on Thunderbird 2. I think now he's in now. He's been in Thunderbird 1 now. He's in Thunderbird 2. Levy would be consider a success in the corporate finance, but in football he is a disaster. Football is judged by trophies and enjoyable, entertaining football. How many years have you experienced crap?
Yeah, true. Yeah, not many. We've had a few, all right, but not a huge amount. I'm just going to the next banner here that we have just to.
Sorry, I'm back.
I'll go on. Sorry, walk away.
Then we're going on to a bit of transfer news, Philip. Now, I was told this morning these are the players that Tottenham Hotspur are interested in. Now, I'll go through them one by one. People in the chat, let us know what you think as well. I want to say big up to Beyond 72, who's coming in. He says Omen, and then he says Bad Omen. I thought that was a horror film, Omen.
It was.
Yeah, Omen, yeah. You won't catch me watching any bloody horror films, I'll tell you that now. As much as Derville tries to get me to watch them, I would never.
We've been watching horror stories every game at Spurs last season.
Mind you, watching Tottenham last couple of years has been a horror film in itself. But anyway, we've got Spurs transfer targets: Philip, David Rea, James Maddison, Max Kilman, Harry Maguire, Kyoga, and Jota.
Yeah, Kyoga. That's what he's known as, Kyoga.
Yeah. Out of them five, Philip, who do you think we should buy first? And in the chat, let us know what you think as well. And while you're there, hit the like button, hit the subscription button. If you do, pick up your memberships as well. Only $2.99, cheaper than Netflix. And also send in the super chat. The chat is pumping. So if you want to get ahead of everyone, send in the super chat there and it will get read out first. Philip, who do you want to buy first?
Well, I think by necessity, a centre back is the first thing that should be brought in. If that's the case, if you had to pick between Harry Maguire and Max Kilman, I'd take Max Kilman. You know, I think he's a good player. I think, and also another one that's not on that list, who's available for $5 million, is Connor Cody from Wolves.
See, now there's a player I would love at Spurs.
Yeah, decent player. Decent player, you know.
Really is.
So, David Rea, I think Man United are supposed to be sniffing around him. James Maddison, there's an awful lot of people don't want James Maddison. I personally would take him in a heartbeat because we were at the game at Leicester Spurs Leicester when we beat them 6-2. For the first 20 minutes, James Maddison was like the orchestra conductor. He was dictating traffic. He was brilliant, and I think he can pick a pass and he can score goals. So I'd go for him if he was reasonably priced. Kyogo, take him, no problem. If he's got a 25 million buyout clause, pay it. Don't be messing around Celtic. Pay the money. Yeah, that guy scored 34 goals this season.
Yeah,
and Jota is a brilliant player, a really good winger, and he'd be an absolute godsend to us if we got him as well. I'd say out of those 6, if we got 2 of them, maybe 3, I'd be happy. You know,
would you take Kyogo and Jota and say Kilman, and Madison, and leave Maguire and Raya?
Yeah. Well, I'd go for. We need a goalkeeper, so if we can get Raya, all the better.
Bazuna, I really would.
Yeah, true enough. I haven't know much about him. Whether he's what his situation at Southampton is. Does he have a relegation clause in his contract? You know, so that's interesting to see how that goes on.
Rob Willis says Kyogo is 28, rapid, makes runs galore. If you see the pass, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him and Kane playing together?
Oh boy, yeah, I can actually see it. Yeah. And see, Harry may be looking at all this and saying, "There's going to be new players around me next season. It can only get better." You know, I've got the Shearer's record to aim at. Little things like that. Plus the fact his wife is heavily pregnant, may not want to go abroad. So there's a lot of things in our favour at the moment, really, regarding him staying or going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how old his children are.
They're all under about 6.
They're
all young.
4, 3, and 2. I've just been told.
Yeah. He scores regularly off the pitch as well. You know. Anyway.
On that bombshell, we'll move on. We'll move on. I'd rather have CCV than Kilman or Maguire.
Cameron Carter-Vickers. Well,
he done very well at Celtic.
He did, he did. But he never made it at Spurs. He was on how many loans did he have at Spurs? You know,
but he's developed under Ange.
He has. And maybe this is it. Ange might want to bring him back. You never know. You just don't know. In Ange, we trust. I think has to be the thing on the transfers.
Yeah,
he'll know who he wants to bring in. You know.
Colin says United are sniffing around any goalkeeper with a pulse at the moment.
Oh God!
Beyond 72 says bad omen about that Aussie tour and relegation. And where are we going? Where are we going this summer?
Aussie. Well, partly in Australia, partly in Thailand, and over there. You know, that's 47 years ago. It's hard. You can hardly make a connection to that. You know,
46, Philip. Don't age me. Don't age me another year.
76 to 3 is 24 and 23.
Yeah, but 77 they were relegated.
Oh yeah, okay, right,
yeah. Don't age me. I'm only 46. Don't put an extra age on me. I'm trying to go younger, not older.
You're getting very, very touchy about your age already.
I'm 32. What are you on about?
21 plus that. Anyway.
Double that. Wayne Bonner says keeper and the centre back are priorities at the moment. Get them in and work on other areas.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Audie in Austin says, in your opinion, who in our squad is most similar to in personalities to Angie's captain at Celtic?
That's your man. What do you call him? Gregor, isn't it? Is it McGregor?
McGregor. Look, I think Bentancur.
Yeah, he'd be the one I'd go for as well, you know.
Bentancur, I think. He's similar. See, I would buy McGregor. I would bring him down. I would bring him, Kyogo, Jota, and
Jesus, the Celtic fans would invade England if we take all their players off them.
But it's only a 20 million buyout clause, Philip. It's not a lot for Kyogo to pay out.
25 million. Kyogo is a bargain price, you know. He really is.
And he does want to follow Ange. He does.
Does he? I haven't heard that.
I read 2 articles to say that he wants to move to Tottenham.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you another thing too. Daniel Levy's eyes would be lighting up on that because that opens up a complete new market for Spurs shirts in Japan.
Yeah. And that's what they're probably looking at. Look, Philip, football is not football like it used to be.
No, it's commercialism. It's all commercial.
Football is a corporate commercial business now worth billions and billions. And if you can see a market, say in the Japanese market, and you can get in there first,
why
not?
Yeah.
And he's a good player as well.
He's an excellent player. But I mean, just look on that point there, Dermot, commercialism. You look at the way shirts are looked after. Each team brings out at least 3 new shirts every year, right?
Yeah.
Up to the start of the Premiership, or maybe a bit before that, maybe in the 80s, in the 60s and 70s, you wore the same shirt every year, no problem. But never the shirts were never changed. Then somebody had the bright idea we can make money off the fans by tweaking this and moving the stripe a bit over to the left and all that. And now look at it. It's an absolute money. And you, as you said yesterday, Dermot, 120 quid for a Spurs shirt.
I said that to you this morning.
Yeah, that's right. 120 quid.
120 euro for a Tottenham shirt. You would have. I mean, I remember going to Tottenham with my dad, right? When I was a kid, the ticket was around about 15, 20 quid. You buy your program, 150, €2. You buy a burger, have a drink, can of Coke or whatever, say a £5 or 6, 7 quid. So you're looking at a layout about 100 and something euro for the day, right?
Yeah.
That's including driving up to Tottenham, parking. We used to park at my uncle's who lived around the corner, so we didn't have to pay for parking. But you go there, and it wouldn't cost you the earth to go out and take your kids to the match. You go now, Philip. Now that it costs us 50 quid for the ticket.
Yeah.
The program is worth about 5 or 6
euros. Yeah.
And you can only pay by card. You can't pay by cash anymore, which I find really ridiculous. Yeah. You then put in your airfare over there, which is, it cost me to go over to England the last time 300 something euro.
Good God.
And that was mind you,
you were flying on an airline with seats. We went Ryanair.
Well, no, the Aer Lingus is very rare. I would recommend Aer Lingus. I'm scared of flying, and they're brilliant with me. They stick me in the seat next to another person who's scared of flying.
What, the pilot?
And then the pilot. Yeah. The pilot's in there shaking. I don't want to fly. I don't want to fly. Right. And they sat you next to this. Yeah, it probably is drunk and all. Right. They sat me next to this other woman who was shit scared like I was. Right.
Yeah.
And there she was. We were talking. She went. And by the time we knew we'd landed, the air stewardess was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They were brilliant on there. Yeah. And then she turned around to me. I said, "Do you fly often?" Now, this woman is scared of flying, right? Yeah. She said, "Yeah, I fly every week." She said, "I'm going to Australia in 4 weeks' time." Oh, God. And I'm looking at her thinking, are you mad?
Can I tell you a quick story? This is absolutely true about flying. I stayed when I was years ago, I stayed in a flat with a guy who used to work for Monarch Airlines in Luton, right? And he told the story of, in the 60s, they used an awful lot of ex-wartime pilots to fly the planes, down to Spain or whatever, And there's one particular pilot, he had a party piece. Halfway through now this is a time not many people were flying. It was in the infancy of charter flights. They had a pilot. Halfway through the flight, he'd walk down, he put on his cap, he put on a pair of dark glasses and a white stick, and he walked down the aisle of the plane. Eventually, they got wind of it and sacked him. But I mean, I thought that was hilarious,
So he walked down like he was a blind man down the middle of the plane.
Yeah, with the full uniform on, and the hat and a pair of glasses and a white stick. Oh, it's a brilliant story.
Oh, that's great. Ellie said, "That's cracked me up, Philip. You've had that certain Irish wit." Carl says, Dermot told the woman he was going to watch Spurs, and she laughed the rest of the time. Mind you, my other half laughs at me when I mention Tottenham back in the bad days, but you're looking forward to Spurs now, aren't you? See? We're all looking forward to Tottenham, yeah. Big up Brian Maguire. It says, Big Ange wasn't my first choice, but he'll certainly get 100% backing for me. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oldie, and I said, I was surprised we let Mark Handy go. The Indian market is huge.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't. We didn't offer him a new contract, so he didn't stay.
That's right. We did actually offer him a contract, but he wouldn't accept it.
Celtic tried to get Mintoma, but he chose Brighton for $2.5 million.
Oh, what a bargain. That's a bargain of the season. That guy is
I remember this. I remember Junior Spurs. I was a Junior Spurs member back in the day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I heard you're still paying that membership, are you?
I am, Philip, yeah.
I still think you're a Junior Spur.
Yeah, I am a Junior Spur. Yeah. Are you on the senior side of it now, Philip?
No, nearly,
No, no,
nearly,
come on.
nearly.
Yeah, we know you've reached 22 now. You're
Yeah,
over
no.
the hill now at 22 now.
That's true.
Yeah. Kate says, you're looking well, Dermot. Hope you're feeling good. Yeah, I'm feeling fine. Thank you so much, Kate. We've got Val Taylor. How will Kyogo fit if Kane stays? Kulu out. Now,
Yeah,
look,
that's the thing.
This is the story that's going around that Postecoglou is going to trigger the 20 million transfer race for Celtic's Kyogo. Now, I bought him on my FIFA team, Philip, and I tell you one thing: he's quick on there. But I've watched him this season for Celtic, last couple of the seasons. I love him. He's one of my favourite Celtic players. He really is, and I'd love to see him in the Premier League in the white shirt at Tottenham.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen what these Japanese guys can do. So it's they're an untapped market, really. I'm sure there's lots of them out there.
Yeah, and would you see Kane changing going into that Glenn Hoddle role?
Well, he's done it. He did it a lot of the times. He was like the most creative player this season, really, for a lot of the time. So possibly, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Big up Mr. EE. He says, big at THFC till I die. Hi, Dermotron and Hayfield. Big up.
Yeah.
And Ellie's saying Dermot said he was Spurs junior, and the lady next to him said pull the other one. Very funny, Ellie. Rob Wallace says Kane would need to do the 10 role. That's what we're saying. He'll have to he'll have to play the Glenn Hoddle role. Brian Maguire says, I like the O'Reilly guy who plays for Denmark.
Yeah, I mentioned him. He played for Milton Keynes, MK Dons, I think, or Wycombe Wanderers, one of the two. I can't remember what.
How come he never played for Ireland? Was his mother Danish?
She must be. His father must be Danish, or his mother. Yeah, probably his mother. No, if he's O'Reilly, that means his father would be Irish, and the mother must be Danish. Yeah. I don't know why we didn't pick him up, but he's a decent player. Decent player.
I've got a bit of breaking news here for you, Philip. Just reached us here, so I'm just going to copy it and put it into the banners. I'd love to get everyone's reaction to this bit of breaking news we've got. I love the transfer window because the transfer window hasn't opened yet.
No,
opens in 7 days' time. Tottenham and West Ham have both been offered Harry Maguire. Now, if you were Harry Maguire, where would you go?
Well, I wouldn't go anywhere near West Ham, but right. I wonder what the transfer fee is, because I mean he was 80 million when he went to United. Has he been devalued down to what? 10 million?
What it is, I don't know if Colin can correct me on this, but I think Man United are going to pay him out of his contract.
Oh, they're going to buy him out, so he'll be a free agent.
He'll be a free agent.
That wouldn't be a bad purchase now if we got him for nothing.
And this is news just from London World. Now, I don't know how this is not 100% right. This is probably above 50% accurate, but we don't know. But Swansea City have a growing interest in Tottenham's coach Ryan Mason. That's also just breaking.
Yeah, that's going to happen because people are going to think that Mason is going to be surplus to requirements at Tottenham, even though he may not be. All I'll say to you, Ryan, is be careful where you go, because there are some clubs better than others. I think Swansea are a pretty stable club. I think it's Cardiff are the ones that have the problems. We'll wait and see. If he goes, I think every Spurs fan will wish him well. And he will be back at the club at some stage.
Yeah. Rob Wallace says, by the looks of it, Spurs who just buy
shares. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying yesterday. I mean, you know all the goodwill there is from Celtics fans about Postecoglou. If we start nicking their players, that's going to change big time, you know?
We will be doing Celtic watch-alongs next season. That's an idea I came up with last night, Philip. So that's something we might actually look at doing. Can we tap into that Scottish market?
Absolutely.
You know, even small YouTube channels have to look at commercial revenues. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Tap into the Scottish market there.
Yeah, we've got to tie up with a Celtic web YouTube channel up there.
Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah, that would be. We need to look into that. Ivan Toney is a very good player, but he's more a big fish in a small pond for me.
Yeah, but look, Ivan January.
Ivan Toney. Look, we had the discussion about me. Look, he came out and said he was addicted to gambling. We all know addictions is a painful. It's a painful disease to have. And I tell you, the people that beat them have my full admiration, and I do know what I mean. I'm in awe of the people that do beat addiction and do beat it. And I really mean that. My hat goes off to them, because it's not easy. It's difficult, but my hat goes off to anyone that can beat any addiction, any.
Absolutely.
So, my tip my hat off to them. So look, put that to one side, Philip. He's a good striker. He's a very good player, and I think he'd be very. I mean, Dave banged on with him when we played Brentford in the League Cup semi-final under Jose. So, do you think he'd be a good player for us?
Possibly, but I mean, the situation at the minute is going to mean there's no club on earth is going to touch him until he's back from his ban. And Brentford, certainly, I don't think they're going to sell him. They know they've got him back in January or February. So I'd say maybe in the January transfer window, if Kane goes and things don't work out with Kyogo or whatever, possibly. But he's a good player. Like, I mean, he certainly is a good player. But I'm just wondering, because he's got the baggage, I know it's not fair to hold your past sins against you. How clean is he now? Is he still, has he kicked the habit completely? Because you don't want to pay 50 million for a player and then find out he's back to his old tricks again,
Well,
so
we can break it. We can break it here first. Fabrizio Romero has broke it as well. We're going to break it here first. Lionel Messi is going to Inter Miami. Here we go. So that deal is about to be concluded.
I bet you he goes to Barcelona on loan. I bet you he moves on.
I bet you he doesn't. I bet you he doesn't.
It's a huge boost for the MLS if he does stay in America. Yeah,
I could tell. I think Ronaldo's looking over the MLS now, thinking, "Damn, I should have gone there."
But there's no. But the MLS have they have a salary cap. So there's no way Messi's going to earn his $1 billion a season going there.
Ellie's saying Jota, that's only in 33 matches, and the season before 29 matches, 10 goals, 10 assists.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
I'd have him at Tottenham.
Midfield. Yeah, I would.
We've got Val Taylor says, is the idea of a director of football coming now dead?
No.
Well, look, I think it is, Philip.
Well, what about Pinto? Are they not going to go for Pinto?
Look, I don't think we need one.
Postecoglou hasn't used one at Celtic. I don't know if he's used one by any clubs before. But the thing about it is, Scott Munn is going to have to take on an awful lot of that side of things, because you don't want the manager tied down with stuff that he shouldn't have to be dealing with, So as long as Scott Munn isn't tight, it's going to take over a lot of the footballing stuff from Levy, and possibly we might get away with it. But it wouldn't surprise me if we did appoint one.
Look, I don't think he will. I don't think he needs one. I think he knows what he's doing. He's bringing the data guy down with him as well. So we're looking to be changing how we do stuff in the background at Tottenham as well. So he looks like he's changing the club from top.
Oh, well, every team has to have a data man now. It's part of the course,
Yeah. Kate saying she'd rather have Toby Maguire than Harry Maguire, and she calls him a donkey.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. So that's the breaking news. Any bit of news here, Philip? Let's see now. We've done the Ryan Mason thing. There's a report this morning that a defender reluctant to sign new deal whilst Tottenham want him. Now, this is the Spanish defender. I can't pronounce his name, from Real Madrid. Now he doesn't want to sign a new contract, and he wants to come to Spurs. Now, he played under Postecoglou, I think somewhere. I think he's Australian for some reason. I read it very quickly this morning in Spurs News now. But it was one of them. So we could be looking at that. And also Tottenham have been given the green light for the transfer pursuit of Leicester City's James Maddison after Ange Postecoglou said he wanted him at Spurs.
Right. Okay, so, we've got Newcastle are after him as well, so that's going to be tricky. and Maddison is reported to be a Gooner fan, so that might, if he had a choice between the two, he might go for Newcastle. But yeah, excuse me, I'm frog in my throat here. So excuse me.
Maldini at AC Milan resigned yesterday.
I don't know, did he resign or was he pushed? There's a bit of a controversy over that. Did he fall or was he pushed?
Yeah. Well, Philip, I think that's all for Newsbeat today. I don't think there's any other news that we can bring people. It's very quiet around at the moment. We had all the stories.
It's the calm before the storm, though. It's the lull before the storm.
Well, listen, Philip, the new kit's out tomorrow, so we will be doing the show on the new kit and what we think of it and that.
Well, it's not the one we thought was going to be the kit. Thanks be to God, the one with the footprints on it.
No, we are going to do a podcast tomorrow evening as well. So a podcast tomorrow night. The podcast will be the last week at Spurs, where we go through the whole week, what happened like we did last Saturday, go over how Ange becomes Spurs manager. You know, we're going to look over the whole thing. And then we've got Newsbeat. Then I don't know what we're doing the weekend, but we will be doing something between now and Monday. So, Philip, any other shows we've got coming up on the channel?
No, I think you've covered it all there, haven't you?
Yeah.
We will be working on things during the summer to new graphics and new everything for next season. So new beginnings for Tottenham and new beginnings for THFC till I die.
Yeah, well, we're going to come back better and stronger. And once you see the new graphics we've got in mind, you're going to be bowled over. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Mia, thank you again for helping Philip at the start. Philip, thank you for helping me as normal.
No
We're
problem.
back tomorrow at 4:00. Podcast out tomorrow as well. I don't know if we're doing that live or it's pre-record. We'll decide that later. But there will be stuff out for more, and then we're back on Ellie's on tomorrow at 10:30 with the Ellie Breakfast Show. So join Ellie for that as well as she goes through the build up to the Women's World Cup, and we will go from there. But whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
In Ange
In
we
Ange
trust.
we trust.